these 8 or 10 weeks to be the most musically productive time of my life, honestly. And no, I've not been paid by these guys to say that, but that is true. This is not my first program which I have done like this. I have done decent number of programs, but this has been the most fruitful one. This thing works for sure. This program that you guys have developed. Now, if somebody comes to me and says that, hey, can you finish a song in 1 week? I'll say yes. Heck, let's do it.
In one sentence, mastering takes me this much
10
time
minutes,
now.
15 minutes. You kind of gave me the reason. Like, hey, if you don't do that side chaining, for example, on the kick, like, yeah, it sounds muddy. You need to have that room. So you gave me the reasons to do certain things from the get-go. Gosh, how many days did we meet? 5 days, 6 days, right? Sometimes my wife would be like, what type of class is this? Like you spend time with them all, like, you sure you're not hanging out with friends? And it did feel like that, right? I mean, hanging out every single day,
So
right.
Take 9
1,
47.
2.
Welcome
Go.
back. Well, come on, man. Welcome back. Oh my goodness. All right. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are with our client Hiemanshu, who just finished the program. He's made a bunch of amazing tracks, and he's going to share with us his journey, his progress. So let's dive in. Tell us a little bit about your musical background, and we'll go from there.
I kind of started with my musical journey back in the days when I was in India, but didn't get much time because I was doing my engineering and other stuff. Life kind of caught on, and then I did not do much music, but got a little lucky to do some courses on the Berkeley online. But after that, I was not doing anything, literally nothing, even though I was almost had a degree from Berkeley online, but I was not doing anything. But then this thing popped up. I still remember, I think, some client comments that I read, and I was like, this sounds like me, want to do, have the little bit understanding of music to do, but don't know how. The how was missing. So I guess I just messaged you, Ori, I remember, and then you were pretty spot on. You're like, hey, yeah, why don't we set up a meeting and whatnot? And then we just hit it. And then from there on, it just happened. The 8 weeks went past by. So I know you said to get a little background on music, but I already started the journey. But yeah, I'm really, really pumped right now, honestly, that I did make that call.
So basically, you started off pretty much as a beginner, hadn't finished any tracks yet. So you had a tiny bit of experience.
Right. The only experience I had was that if I sit down, I can create like 4-bar melody, let's just say. But how to convert that into a full-fledged song, structure, mix, master, like I had no idea. So that's where I was when I started, honestly.
So how has your progress been so far with the mentorship, and what results do you think you've got?
Honestly, I was surprised myself. I was surprised like how much could be achieved and done in 8 weeks. It went a little bit over than 8 weeks. I mean, COVID hit and whatnot, but I think I see these 8 or 10 weeks to be the most musically productive time of my life, honestly. And no, I've not been paid by these guys to say that, but that is true. That is true.
Most musically productive time of your life.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, it had been fabulous. I learned a bunch of things. Honest, as I was saying, I was able to create 4-bar melody. I could layer things. I know a little bit of music theory too, but 4-bar of good music is one thing, and having a full-fledged 5-minute song is a different thing. And I think now if somebody comes to me and says that, hey, can you finish a song in 1 week? I mean, I'll say yes. Heck, let's do it.
So how do you feel going forward?
Going forward, I have material. I was showing that to Geet yesterday. I think I have decent material for about 8 to 10 tracks, honestly, which I need to work on, mix, master. I mean, that's always the case. But for sure, I hope that I will produce an album of at least 6 songs out of those 8 or 10. pieces that I have. Feel very confident. Have a good benchmark as well, because the problem that I was facing was that I did not have a good gauge where I stand, and I think a lot of other folks who are into music are my friends. They face a similar challenge, like, oh, they can produce music, but they don't know where their music stand, where they're like, what's their strength, right? So not just I learned this process, but I also learned what my strength is. What type of producer I am. I learned that I can create some decent melodies and have a decent harmony on top of that. And of course, other tools are available throughout the program, which help me build on my strength and work on my weaknesses.
So you've had like about 10 tracks that you've made in the last 8 weeks. And then you've had COVID, and then you're also working, you have a family, you have a kid. So tell us a little bit about your biggest takeaways in these 8 weeks, and how, even though you had a very busy schedule, you were able to manage like cutting 2 songs a week sometimes.
Right. Yeah. No, that's so of course there is a musical aspect of it, which of course all the videos that are part of this course provide. But there is the other aspect, which is holding me kind of accountable, which is huge. And I remember Ori saying that to me, and I was like, okay, let's see how that goes. I work here in a very non-musical background, and I have a full-time job in 60 hours a week, and I have a kid and that stuff. What really helped me was like, oh man, at 9 p.m. I'll be in front of Ori, I'll be in front of Geet. What will I have to show them? And that honestly kind of was the motivation, because as I was saying earlier, right, I did not have a good benchmark, but when I produced 8 bars of music, and I was like, yeah, this is what I have, and I got a good feedback, and I was shown a decent path forward, and I was like, man, I should spend an hour every single day. So what I did was I spent 1 hour in the morning. I became an early riser, honestly, and I just gave 1 hour, 1.5 hour every single morning. And when the meeting would go with other students in the class, I would keep messing around and keep rearranging, and would watch the videos during the day, and have a decent product, So 7 days, if you think about it, if you work constantly, so 10 hours on one song, it's a decent amount of time for per track, if you think about it that way. But I never did before starting with you guys. So of course, musical training, but also this keeping things accountable, because gosh, how many days did we meet? 5 days, 6 days, right? Sometimes my wife would be like, what type of class is this? Like you spend time with them all, like, you sure you're not hanging out with friends? And it did feel like that, right? I mean, hanging out every single day. Sometimes my son used to come and say hi to you guys. So it was fun. Yeah. So you had to keep yourself going. That's for sure. Nobody would help you on that. But having a pretty solid cadence, so to speak, 6 days out of 7, you have to sit in front of them, holding yourself accountable, kind of helped me cross my barrier. I'll also mention this thing. As I was saying, the most productive 8 weeks of my life musically, I've not produced a song. I don't have a complete song. So I have not seen this journey through. So I'm coming from a background where I have not done this. And in the beginning, Audi mentioned that, oh, you'll be making 1 song per week. And I'm like, sure, I want to stay positive. But in my background, I'm like laughing a little bit, but it turned out to be true. So yeah, this thing works for sure. This program that you guys have developed works really well.
Okay. So mixing is always a big issue for a lot of producers, and you came in without knowing much about mixing at all. And from that to week 2, you're making like 2 tracks fully mixed. So how did that happen, and how was it easy for you or hard for you, challenging? What is it?
So the thing is that this program is very hands-on, because of 6 days or 5 days out of 7 days, you are sitting with one of you, going over no general crap. You are sitting with your music that you have created and trying to shape a song out of your thing. I mean, that itself is so much, motivational. And then the classes that you guys did initially with me, you did not explain me that, hey, do this to mix and cut this to, yeah, there was that part too, but you kind of gave me the reason. Like, hey, if you don't cut don't do that side chaining, for example, on the kick, like, yeah, it sounds muddy, like you need to have that room. So explaining that concept, and that may be me. I like reasons more than things. So you gave me the reasons to do certain things from the get-go. And yeah, mixing was never my forte, because film scoring, I mean, there are people who do that. We don't mess with that. We just compose music, right? So that was the thing, and it was like, yeah, it makes sense. It's yeah, I have a piece, and that itself is not enough. I need to have it at a right level. In certain fashion, there are things that you can do and make the same composition sound way more beautiful, way more catchy, so to speak. And that was part of the videos that you guys have taught. And also then once you follow through those videos, create something. I mean, we are sitting one-on-one with you to apply those concepts onto your piece. So that helped in having a decent understanding of mixing, and not just mix your track, but why was important to me. And I think I got that from the lessons and the video lectures.
And mastering is seen as something, as if it's like some holy grail or something. I don't know what. But by the time you reach week 6, I believe, right? Week 6,
Mm-hmm.
6, you are able to master your tracks, because the idea is you have a very well mixed song. So how much time does it take for you to master a song now? In one sentence, mastering takes me this much
10
time
minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, play around with that. Because I mean, garbage in, garbage out, right? So that doesn't happen. The what is coming in is already so much more balanced than as I was saying earlier. Things are precisely where they are supposed to be in the whole spectrum. Yeah.
You also developed like this whole new style of music, which we could see a progress happening from the first song itself. And this is not a kind of music that Ari or I do, but still we could take you to the next level in your musical genre. We get this question a lot, like, all right, I want to come in with rap, or any genre that we don't do. For example, rock and heavy metal we don't do, but we have had so many clients learn those techniques. So how do you think our program helps to cultivate those skills which can be universal for every genre of music?
Oh, that's an interesting thought. I did not think about it this way. Yeah, I mean, I think the first piece that you create, Ori, is a trap track, right? And
yeah,
that is not on the top of my liking. And when I was going through, like, okay, but again, the thing is that you guys work on the piece of music that you have created, right? So when I created my first piece, I remember you working on it. Like, I remember already providing that structure, like, there should be an intro. I had that structure, but I did not know what is it called. So you guys completely worked on the piece that I had. Of course, it will be in my own genre. So I guess the learnings are pretty transferable across the genres, right? Mixing and balance and all those concepts are stay the same. Of course, you have more bass in certain, versus more highs in some other genre. All that is there, but the basics do remain the same. And that's why I said earlier too, right? The reason why you're doing something was kind of was a shining point in this course for me. So that was genre agnostic, honestly. I felt. And the one-on-one course, the one-on-one sessions that we had were the main reasons for that. I mean, of course, lessons
Exactly.
you are composing, and I think you did try to compose different variety of songs too, or throughout the lectures. But still, I think I got one-on-one training on the genre of my own choosing, right? So that helped. That helped a lot.
Nice. So would you say that you know what compression is now? Delay, reverb, these are clear in your head. EQing is not like so difficult.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
all
if
these fancy terms.
right. If you won't ask me to explain on this video, I would say yes, I know this. But yeah, the concept is clear. What I miss if I don't have compression is very clear in my mind. And as again saying the same thing, I think third time, the why was important to me, and I always stick to the why, and because that leads the way to a better understanding, so to speak, and that was provided to me. I know compression, I know why we use sidechain, and some other decent enough concepts like ducking down right before a drop, and why build up and break down, and oh gosh, I know some jargon actually. Yeah. So yeah.
And you came in without knowing these, right? Did you know what a
Oh,
compressor was before joining the program?
so
I
I would
mean,
say,
no is as in you must have heard of it, but did you
yeah.
know about it?
So I would say I knew compressor, Geet. I would say that I did know compressor, but how to use it effectively is what I was not sure about. Again, knowing something is one thing, right? But I mean, yeah, I know music theory. I know how to play piano, but if I'm not able to use it to create something, my ultimate aim, which is to create a song, I mean, what good can that do? So I never used the side chaining the way you guys taught me. I mean, I knew what side chaining is, but I never used it to compose something, to create something. You know, that's different, and that's the piece I learned here.
So, anything you would like to share with someone who was in a similar situation as you were before you joined the program? And, let them know what this is all about.
Man, I think I've spoken a lot about why I feel very passionately about this whole journey. I think it's very well structured, so to speak. It has its own structure, even though we try to compose a song each week. It starts very basic with simple stuff. I mean, giving that template in week 2, then making everything understand what's going on, and then talking about sampling, then vocal. That was very interesting. I mean, I'm not a vocalist. And then learning about mastering. I mean, that was not a long lesson, but yeah, it has its own unique structure. So hop on and just go through the journey. I feel like in the end you will definitely know what your strengths are and where you need to put more effort on. And I think that's I've learned that a lot, which I did not know before. So I think that would be, so if I have to say somebody, I would say that to get a good benchmark, because you guys, both of you have produced songs, both of you have great background in music, right? I mean, your Berkeley grads have done that, like Ori comes from a different background, and Geet, you come from a very contrasting background. So it's a mix, very good balanced mix of two different sides of music, and it's great. I mean, that's all. I'm not finding any other words to say it, but yeah, it's a well structured program. Coming out of it, I mean, this is not my first program which I have done like this. I have done decent number of programs, but this has been the most fruitful one. As I said, the whole life, I think I've created most number of tracks, and not just tracks, but tracks which can easily be converted into full-fledged songs, which I can put on my Spotify and stuff. So great journey from beginning to the end.
So with all that being said, if that inspires you, if that impacted you in any kind of way, if you're curious about the mentoring, feel free to reach out to us. You can click the link in the description as well, and we can have a chat to see if it's a good fit. So I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time.